So one problem with electric cars is the range in cold weather. And I thought I'd talk about my solution to this, which adds about 10 miles to the cold winter range of my electric car, and it's a diesel heater. Cabin heating takes a lot of energy from the battery in winter, and to avoid that, you can use a diesel heater to do it instead.
So this idea won't be useful for everyone, but I drive 155 miles a day, so I need all the range I can get. So this has cost me around £150, and the running cost is about the same as charging from a destination charger and using the heat pump, and it's cheaper than charging from a rapid charger and using the heat pump. But it's more expensive than using the heat pump with your home electricity.
So here it is on the bench, and you can see the exhaust pipe, and you have to get that nice and tight at the top there, so there's no leaks, and you can see the air intake, and that's where the hot air comes out there. And underneath the table you can see the remote control, so this is where it's going to go into the car. So it's quite easy to install. There's already two holes in the boot. There's a drain plug and a wire loom plug. So the drain plug is where I put the exhaust pipe, goes through there to the floor, and that's where I suck the air in for the diesel heater, and you can see the ground plug there as well. So I've already installed it last year, so these are pre-cut, and I just pop them out like that, and that's where it goes. So boom, there it is, and the exhaust pipe goes out the bottom, and I've already pre-cut the exhaust, just need to flop it out there, and then I put the air intake through there, and that's in case if it ever breaks and starts leaking exhaust fumes out the air intake, then they're routed to outside the car. You need to bolt it down to the car so that if it crash, it won't come shooting forwards and hurt you. And then the other thing to do is the hot air needs to be ducted towards where you want it, basically. So last year I just used this metal hose to just vent it to just behind my head, and that worked all right, but my toes got cold and the windscreen fogged up a bit. So this year I've decided to extend the hoses more towards my feet and the screen, and here you can see me. So that's where I had it last year, and I still had to use a bit of heat pump, whereas this year I'm extending it with these black hoses. So you don't need to be obsessive about leaks. You can have hot air leaking out wherever you want, it's fine. And I've just screwed it into the felt of the roof with just screws, and that seems to hold the tubes nicely, and that's where you can see it routed to the footwell and to the screen. Now for the electric, it needs electricity to get it started, so I've taken a fused positive connection from the fuse box here and run it up the trim of the door into the boot, and that's for the positive lead. And for the negative lead, I just took a wire from the chassis of the boot, because all cars are, the negative of the battery is grounded to the chassis, so that's where the negative comes from, and that's on all cars. And then you just connect it to the diesel heater there. So it needs to be fused as I have. So that's what it looks like.
Some people say this defeats the object of an electric car, but I say no, because it's a small and efficient use of fossil fuel that enables a much larger energy saving of using the electric car over the petrol car. And I only use 5 litres of diesel a year, and it's a removable accessory that can come out when needed. I would like to use the heat pump in the electric car, but then I would have to buy a much larger battery electric car, and that would cost more money and more energy to build it.